Hello everyone, welcome to another rendition of Neon Trash. Tonight we are going to review another very sophisticated film by Michael Judge. So get your crumpets and your tea ready, because we are going to have a rootin' tootin' time tonight. Just kidding. Whoa! Hey! Yeah, just kidding. We are not reviewing a sophisticated film at all. Actually, this is Idiocracy. One of my favorite movies ever, and unfortunately, today in our social and political climate, it is sadly, very sadly appropriate right now. Yeah, Mike Judge is one of my favorite, I guess, directors. Like, he obviously made Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. He made some movies like Office Space and Idiocracy. Love this shit, but again, very sad how appropriate it is right now in 2020. Yeah, I don't know, like, definitely on social media, like, it just seems like everybody's fucking stupid. And,
Tell how you really feel, Dean.
Is this a movie review or a vlog? What's going on?
All of a sudden he just starts, like, trashing the room.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I don't know. I know Mike Judge definitely didn't intend on making a documentary, but he just may have. So, I think we should delve in, everyone, and, Tommy, put that trailer up, mofo.
Hey, check out the trailer.
The dawn of the 21st century, the Army began a top-secret experiment.
Meet Joe Bowers, our first subject for the human hibernation experiment. As you know, this is highly classified. However, if successful, we believe humans can be stored indefinitely.
However, the trial run was prone to human error.
See you in a year.
And Joe slept slightly longer than expected. Half a millennium, to be exact. From Mike Judge, creator of Office Space and Beavis and Butthead.
Oh my God!
If you were the smartest person in the world...
This goes in your mouth. This one goes in your butt. Hang on a second. This one goes in your mouth.
And we're stuck with the dumbest people in history.
If you have one bucket that holds 2 gallons and another bucket that holds 5 gallons, how many buckets do you have?
2?
What would you do?
Excuse me, I'm actually supposed to be getting out of prison.
You're in the wrong line.
I'm the smartest guy in the world? Says who?
The IQ test you took in prison. You got the highest score in history.
Even smarter than President Camacho.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of America! In the year 2505.
We got this guy. He's gonna fix everything. So you smart, huh?
The ordinary will be considered extraordinary.
I thought your head would be bigger.
Idiocracy.
For the smartest guy in the world, you're pretty dumb sometimes.
Hey, well, there you have it, Neon Trash watchers and crew. We watched this Idiocracy movie, and unfortunately, it was very appropriate for today's day and age. It seems like everybody's a big dummy, and everybody in this movie is a big old dummy. Even the main character, Luke Wilson. Like, you expect him to actually be smart. No, he's kind of a, what did you say, Tom? Adult as well?
He's an average Joe. They said he was the most average guy, so...
In the military at the time. And then we got the other character where she was a prostitute, and honestly, she was the smartest person in the world in 2505 because she outdid Luke Wilson's character.
I mean, she at least had some street smarts. So street smarts is better than, like, no smarts or average smarts. Like, she actually was surviving.
In terms of a comedy film, there was like a lot of parts to it that I had forgotten. So it was kind of cutting me up in terms of like character actors and like gags that were set up in certain scenes.
I was stupid laughing for a while.
Yeah, and
It
like
still cracks some good jokes for sure. There's a lot that still is really funny. Like,
for sure.
I thought it was pretty good. I guess my main thing is like, I feel like there's other movies that touch on this type of subject that maybe do it more justice. I feel like this movie, and probably because it's a comedy, it's like everyone's just dumb, and that's the problem. But as we can see with like human nature itself, it's a lot more than people just being dumb. I think it's people are pretty hateful and pretty self-interested, and this movie kind of glosses over those aspects, I think. And so when I think of like movies that talk about the future in a more poignant way, I might think of like They Live, Tom and I've seen Save the Green Planet, or even like an animated movie like WALL-E. I feel like all of those movies kind of touch on the similar thing.
They live with Rowdy Piper?
Yep.
Yeah,
John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I own it, and it's so good. Yeah.
But I still feel
that
like
movie
it was
is
funny.
better than this. But
Well, do you think that we were in? I mean, obviously in 2005, things were like Family Guy were rising to the top. You know, you had Simpsons was arguably like at its like pop culture pinnacle peak, and I don't know. People wanted that meta humor. They liked that fast-paced, rapid-fire. Oh, we're in on the joke type of thing, and I feel like that's where this movie kind of comes at things from. It's not really trying to meditate on the concept very well, and you're right about that. Like, there's better movies that take this concept about the dumbing down of our species, you know, mankind, way better.
It's like all the most of Mike Judge's work. It's funny. It's very 90s for me, even though what was this 2000 something, right?
2004 or 5?
Five.
It's still in the same world.
Yes.
So I like it. It's a good romp. The older I get, this movie helps me remember that I should watch comedy and not always squirm in the gutter, regardless of what it is. So yeah, it's nice to see something that isn't horrifying.
One thing that I wanted to touch on, actually, and here, like in the beginning of the movie, like it shows how society became really stupid, really fucking stupid, and it shows this presumably smart couple, kind of aristocratic, wealthy, and they're just not having kids. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got these fucking morons, and they're just fucking reproducing left and right. And like it's funny and it's comical, but like at the same time, it kind of entertains this idea that I don't know, if a certain demographic is able to birth more, and what does that remind you of? You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of like how the Germans thought a pure race would be like the best race. So like, and they're not even thinking that this is supposed to be a liberal movie. You know what I'm saying? But like that concept,
it's kind of the opposite.
it is the we're right, but like so much so that it returns to the point. You know, so like, yeah, like saying that like morons shouldn't keep breeding. It's like, boy, that's a generalization. And you know, once again, taking a deep dive. Get this fucking thing out of my hand. Someone take the reins.
all right.
Say.
I'll tell you, at the end of the day, what this is here is Mike Judge doing what he does best.
I agree.
Making fun of stupid people.
Yes.
Yep.
And getting you to laugh at them, and then maybe at the end of the day realizing that you're laughing at yourself a little bit too. Like, you kind of see yourself a little bit in somebody in his work. He's got a way of doing that. But I tell you what is maybe extra stupid for me was the narration we were getting at the beginning continued at how many 4 or 5, 6 different points throughout the movie. And I'm thinking, what you quit with the narrator, we get what's going on. Wait a minute. They're really pretending you are that dumb that you need to keep getting this narration to understand what is happening in the movie. Like, I found myself at the last time I'm like, what? I know why does this narration keep breaking in?
From my aspect, I always kind of like really like could understand Luke Wilson's character in this because like I am a brilliant man, but like I'd like to think that I'm not a dumbass either. So I feel like I'm kind of like in between where I'm not super smart, but I'm not super dumb either. and that's where Luke Wilson finds himself in this movie, and it's just kind of like it's unnatural to like find yourself around a bunch of dumbasses when you yourself you're not that smart. And like I feel like that's kind of where we are today, like where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm smart. There are a lot of dumbasses in society right now. So like that's kind of how I've been taking this movie, where it's like, am I really smarter than them?
We're gonna go with probably a 5.5.
Okay. Fair enough. PC?
5.5.
Star count.
For me, I think that there were some funny things in here, but I also don't know if like all of the it's like when we did Wet Hot American Summer, where some of the jokes like I don't think they quite would work for today's audience. I wasn't offended, but at the same time, it's like it does make you wonder, like, does this age well? And then I pair that with like other movies tackling the same topic, probably from a more pessimistic angle, but I feel like that's the more realistic angle. So I gravitate towards those more than this. But at the end of the day, I thought there were some good jokes, and that, you know, the set design and everything was interesting and fun and cool as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Dale on this. I'm gonna go 5.5.
All right, Dean, lay it on us out of 10.
Well, damn, maybe I'm the old guy in the group, but
clearly there's an elder. Go on.
Anyway, I loved this movie when it came out, and like I was really happy to find it on DVD. I actually had to special order this on DVD. I don't know, maybe it's just that I love Mike Judge and his comedic style, but like I also think this movie is like sadly appropriate nowadays, where there are a lot of dumbasses that just want to believe whatever they want to believe. I suppose I could be put in that category too. That being said, I really love this movie, and I really love Mike Judge, and I'm going to give it, I don't know, it's not the best movie in the world. I'll give it a 7.5.
That's a pretty fair assessment, very honest. Some of the jokes are just so preposterous, and the meta humor is definitely turned up past 10. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't get that, if you're not used to that, then it comes across as brash and not exactly, you know, thought-provoking. You know, but at its time, that type of humor, I feel like was. Like, we were at a place in America where people couldn't, you know, make social commentary about that. And there's like a lot of jokes about minorities in this movie, but like it's not made in the way where you're making fun of the minority. You're making fun of the person that thinks it's funny to make fun of gays as a slight. So I feel like the takeaway from this movie is that Mike Judge was really coming at things from a more cerebral manner, but the problem is it was made during a time period where everything had to be boom, 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 move it, move it, move it. Mm-hmm. At the same time though, this movie has slow moments where I'm like, oh man, they should have cut that scene, you know? But, you know, I mean, who am I? You know, I'm not the director, and Idiocracy exists as it does. And for me, like, I think there's a lot in this movie that I found funny. I gotta give it a solid 7 out of 10. Rock it. Do it.
Okay, star counts. I'll agree with everyone else that there were plenty of good laughs in there. So I gotta give it at least a 6. But you know what? I really like Mike Judge too, and I really think he got to, I don't know, direct this and see he had a vision for this, and they really made it. They made it pop. They made it work. Like the whole technical aspect of the movie. I'll give it a full extra point for all that. So 7.
Oh, take it with me, dude.
7.